Hi Ridhima, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm also great. So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
So everyone, I am with Ridhima Galani today, and she's the one who has taken SLAT coaching from Success Mantra, and she has scored really well, and we are hoping a good NLU to be targeting her. So let us have a word with her today. Let us have a good conversation with her, and let us try to understand that what is her way of preparation, how has she scored such a good rank and such a good score, and of course her opinions and her strategy guidelines would be a good guiding light for all of you. So let us start with it. So Ridhima, first of all, introduce yourself to everyone and tell them that which exam did you prepare for.
So, my name is Ridhima Gilani. I was a 2-year student at Success Mantra and I was preparing for CLAT. I have scored an All India rank of 298 and my score was 91.75 in CLAT.
So Ridhima, first of all, let us start from the beginning, from the very initial part. Just let the students know, how did you get this idea in your mind to prepare for CLAT?
Actually, from like grade 9th and 10th, I was inclined towards social studies. Like, I liked all of the subjects, but then I scored pretty well in social studies. So I thought that maybe I can do more in that. But I was obviously confused till 10th. I did not have a proper aim. But then through elimination, I got through all of the career options that I might possibly do, and then through elimination I chose of doing law, of cracking CLAT.
Great. So which stream did you have in your 11th class?
I had non-medical PCM.
Oh, that's great. So with non-medical, was it really easy to get such a good rank?
It was not easy, but one advantage I gained from taking non-medical was I gained the habit of studying for 6 hours, 8 hours non-stop. That was a habit I acquired from taking non-medical, as I used to study PCM subjects for long hours without break. So that helped me focus more.
And like your subjects would be PCM, right? So these subjects were not at all related with your CLAT preparation. So wasn't it burden for you to just prepare for those typical subjects also and then preparing for a competitive level of examination?
I mean, yes, it was tough at the beginning, but since I liked the subjects in PCM, they were fun to do with, and I did not have a burden of cracking, JEE. So I did not took those subjects as that I need to do something in them only. So doing them was fun, and at the same time the subjects that I practiced for CLAT, they were pretty great too. So I did not face any problem as such. I did not hate the subjects. That is why the preparation was good.
So I have seen multiple students suffering from the pressure from their school's end, because most of the schools I've heard about, they are not understanding the children preparing for the competitive examinations. They are not even supporting them. Like many of the students, they just remain dummy at school. But then schools never allow for that also. So which school did you study with, and what was the role of your school in this journey?
So I studied in Mount Abu School, Rohini. I got great help from the teachers there. They were very supportive, and I understand that's not the case in all schools, but I'd suggest that you can focus more on school and you can try to balance school and CLAT in 11th class. But then once you enter 12th, you have to focus on CLAT, because that's in December. After December, you can obviously focus on boards, and that is equally important.
Right.
But I'd suggest from the period of August, September to November, you have to keep your focus towards CLAT, and before that you can obviously try to balance them. You can learn to balance them in 11th itself, and by 12th you will obviously get used to it.
So it means your clear answer is that the person should actually start avoiding the class 12 subjects when they are preparing for competitive examinations, specifically CLAT.
I mean, I'm saying that your focus should be on one thing, especially when both the subjects you're practicing are way far apart. So I'm not saying you neglect one subject and focus on the other. I'm saying that you have to learn to maintain a balance, but you need to understand when you need to prioritize one subject over the other. So it's you need to keep a balance, but then you also need to prioritize what is more important for you.
That's so great. So, why did you choose Success Mantra only? Like, we are having so many coachings around. So, when you started searching for the coaching centers for the preparation, so what made you just stick to this particular institution?
When I first started with Success Mantra, my counselor here, she was like very supportive. She tempted me towards all those facilities that are available here, and they're pretty good. I cannot lie about that. They're pretty good, and I never faced any problem here, so I did not feel a need to look over to other coachings as well. So this was sufficient for me from the very start. When I started for demo classes and all, I realized that this will be enough. I need to do it. I need to follow the path they are giving me, which was like pretty sufficient for me.
Great. So, which like batch did you choose? Like weekend batch or the regular one?
I was a 2-year student at the weekend batch because on the weekdays, I had to go to school and manage all the school stuff. So the weekends were mostly free for me, and those were the days when I came here.
So it means you focused your schoolings in the regular days and you entirely gave your weekends to the CLAT.
Yes, exactly. And any homework or assignments that I got for the weekend from the school side, I used to, try to complete it till Friday, because Saturday, Sunday, that's totally for CLAT.
Okay, so do you feel that if a student is practicing, like started preparing from class 11th, so weekend 2 days in a week is sufficient for him or her to study for CLAT?
Yes, like it's pretty sufficient because the syllabus is not clearly defined in CLAT. You need to get through the basics, which can be covered in the weekend batches, but the rest you need to practice a lot, which you need to do yourself. They can provide you with the papers and stuff, but there's one thing called self-motivation and self-study. You need to focus on that as well. So weekend would be sufficient because basics are covered in sufficient time, and after that it's all about practice.
Great. So, because you have already given us a particular hint that you studied your entire schooling in regular days and then your specific CLAT preparation in weekends. So, how did you manage the CLAT preparation, like only weekends, and then it has its turn after remaining 5 days? So, didn't you feel a gap in between, like 2 days, and then after a gap of 5 days, you're again coming back to it? So, didn't you require a need to just look back to it again or recapitulate the things done in the previous week? Wasn't it an obstacle for you?
It was a gap. Like I used to feel the gap in the start when I used to do current affairs only on Saturday and Sunday, and then after 1 week I used to get back at that and I would forget everything.
Right.
So then I decided that for my 11th standard, I will focus on the rest of the subjects, since you do not need to do current affairs in 11th itself.
Exactly.
So I used to focus on the rest of the subjects which require some basic knowledge and a lot of practice, that I used to do in the weekends. And then when I came in 12th, I started with regular practicing of mocks, of sectionals, and I used to give time daily to current affairs because they cannot be done after a 5-day gap.
Great. So how did you do current affairs? Because I have heard so many students telling me that current affairs is actually not the cup of tea for everyone, because so many students used to tell me that, ma'am, we have a great backlog of current affairs. Even if we are missing current affairs of 2-3 days, so it is being a great backlog for us, and we have a 2 to 3 months backlog. So students generally face this problem. What would you suggest, and how should they have a pitch for current affairs?
Preparing for current affairs was like very tough for me as well, because I was not really interested in reading newspapers or going through news daily at first. But then once I was determined towards cracking this exam, that happened in around March-April in 2024. Once I got totally determined towards current affairs, I was able to focus more on that. Since I had covered most of my subjects in 11th itself, I could focus more on current affairs. So the key is to give it more time, obviously, and the strategy to prepare. For me, first I used to focus on newspaper daily. That's important. You can take notes if you want from the newspaper. Otherwise, the newspaper is genuinely important for your reading speed itself. The major news, I would get familiarized with the news through the newspapers. Then I would follow compendiums for in-depth details of the news, and I would stick to the compendiums. I would read the compendiums twice or thrice, so that I can you do not need to learn them, but you need to read them enough to know what's in there, what questions can come out of that, and what is important, what is not. You need to familiarize with them.
Great. So with the compendiums, are you talking about the Pravahini magazine? Right. So the Pravahini magazine proved fruitful to you?
Pravahini was helpful, and along with that we were given some class sheets by our teacher. So I did both of them like 3 to 4 times. I read that, and about 2 times I read them in November itself. I got through all of them again and again, so that I can know like what facts are important, what is not important, what is important for me.
Great. So mock tests play a very important role in the journey of the competitive exam preparation, not just for CLAT but for every competitive examination. What would you say, how one should attempt mock tests, how many mock tests should be attempted for CLAT, and what should be the level of mock tests?
I think you need, like, practicing mock tests is the key to crack CLAT. I would say that, but you need to fix your strategy in attempting the mocks. You can be flexible with that in the starting when you're not familiar with what you need to do and what you do not need to do, and how much time you need to give to each section. You can do that in the start, but after that you need to fix on the strategy you're making for yourself, and that's different for everyone. So in around March and April again, I used to give mocks before that, but then I did not stick to one pattern of attempting the paper. After that, I gave 2-3 mocks. I came to know what subject is my weakest, what subject is my strongest, and what should I give first and after. You need to do that yourself based on your strengths and weaknesses, and after that you need to stick to that pattern. You need to analyze mocks. That is very important. You need to give one mock, and you need to analyze that at least for 1 hour. You need to go through every question. Even if you're doing a question correct, you need to know why the question is correct and why the question you're doing is wrong.
Right.
So that is important. And for the number of mocks you need to give, in the starting I'd suggest you give 1 mock per week, but towards the end you should really increase it to like 2 or 3 mocks per week.
Great. So All India mocks are there. Do you really feel All India mocks are useful?
Yes, because they give you the environment you need to practice with. You need to familiarize yourself with the environment you'll be sitting, because obviously when you're in home, there may be disturbances, there may not be disturbances, but it's sure that once you are in the CLAT center, you will face disturbances. And if you're not familiar with that, if you're not if you do not know how to cope up with that, then obviously you will face a lot of problem in the exam.
Right. So what is the ideal score according to you if one is trying mocks? So of course the students are getting demoralized since the beginning because they are not able to score good. So what is the ideal score, and how one should be motivated regarding the score?
So my score was stagnant for most of the time, and I used to get disheartened about that. But that's not a major issue, I would say, because once you're analyzing your mocks, the score doesn't really matter, trust me. And according to me, the ideal score should be, like, if you're giving mocks, it should be above 80. And if you're scoring less than that, I'd say don't get disheartened, just keep on analyzing and improving your score.
You must have also scored less than 80 sometimes.
For most period, I used to score in like 70s, around like late 70s, early 70s. But then I used to go through the answer key and everything to know where I'm lagging behind, so that helped. So I'd say that you do not need to focus that much on the score. You need to focus more on what you're getting, what you're making mistakes at.
All right, understood. So next most important question is, people are not in habit of reading newspaper because, you know, in being in school till class 10th, you just disconnect yourself from the newspaper world. And now again, if you are starting preparing for CLAT in class 11th or in class 12th, you have to get in touch with the newspaper reading. How newspaper reading is important for class 12th for this CLAT examination, and how newspaper has to be read actually, because many are there who don't have the understanding of a proper way of reading the newspaper.
Actually, I hated reading newspaper too, obviously. I was not used to reading it in class 10th, and even in 11th I used to hate it because obviously it took a lot of time and I felt that no output is coming because I'm forgetting most of the things. There's so much news in newspapers.
Right.
So in class 12th I used this approach. I used to watch the analysis video first, that is 40 to 45 minutes video. I used to watch it on 2x. So in 20 minutes I got to know what I need to read, what news is important, along with the background of the news, because that is covered in the analysis itself. Then I used to read the news that were covered in the analysis, because those news were important for me, the rest were not. That is how you come to know that what is important for you, what is not, what you need to do and what you do not.
How much time do you feel a person should be giving in newspaper reading per day?
In the starting, if you're giving like 2 hours, that's okay, because in the starting you're not familiarized with everything. You think that everything is important, so you give it more time. But then once you actually start preparing, you'll realize that in 1.5 hour or 1 hour you're able to cover more than you did in 2 hours, because once you know the strategy and how to approach it, it's easy. It can easily be done in like 1 hour.
Great. So apart from this, which subject was the toughest one for you?
I'd say logical reasoning, critical reasoning was tough for me, because I did not used to know how to approach these questions and all. I was clear with the basics, but then being clear with the basics and knowing how to approach the questions are like two different things. Right. I was clear with the basics. I know what is strengthening the argument, what is weakening the argument, what is an argument, but then approaching the questions is a different thing. And I practiced a lot of sectionals, I practiced a lot of mocks, then I came to know how to approach them. I used to talk to my teachers a lot about how to improve my score, and till even till September, October, my score in reasoning was like pretty bad. But then I focused more on the subjects that I'm lagging in towards the end, which helped me in improving my score.
Great. So now what do you feel actually, if a person is preparing for CLAT examination, how much time that child should be giving to the studies? Like students are generally overburdened with, they have to study for the long hours, they have to be studying for entire day. How much time do you feel that the person should be giving to this entire study or entire preparation of CLAT per day?
Again, it varies from student to student, and how well you already know the topics or how bad you are at them. So in the starting, I would suggest 4 to 5 hours is enough every day. Consistency is the key, because once you take a break of a long period or even like 2-3 days, that would not help you. So even if you're studying 4 hours or 5 hours, that's enough, but you need to do that every day. Towards the end, obviously you need to increase your time, because you need to practice mocks, you need to cover GK, you need to do sectionals, and you need to focus on the subjects you're lagging behind in. So towards the end, towards the last 3 months or 2 months, the time should obviously increase to 7 hours, 8 hours, or according to your capacity.
Understood. So like you told that it depends upon student to student, but then when the exam time is near, when the exam is ahead, generally students are under a lot of pressure. So they create a hustle around them, that what to study, when to study, how many hours to be invested, and school burden is also there. Pre-boards timing is also there. November is generally the pre-boards in the schools, and December also. So that is also clashing. So as I told you that many schools do not support with this thing, and they make you very strict towards it, that pre-boards are very important for you and you have to approach to the school for that. So now what should be the strategy over there, specifically in the end duration, when you are already encountered with all these pressures, how you have to deal with it?
Towards the end, I would say that you have to forget school for some time. You have to focus on the entrance examination. That's a must. You can focus on school after that, you can focus on school before that, but during the last 2 months, your complete focus should be on CLAT. And what I used to do was, I was also overburdened with I felt overwhelmed a lot of times, like 2-3 times a week. I used to have, breakdowns about what to do, what not to do, and I used to create my schedule every day. I did not keep weekly schedules. I kept daily schedules, and I used to schedule my work a day prior. At night, I used to keep targets, what I need to do and what I do not need to do, and towards the end you have this self-motivation. So it's not that you make your schedule and you'll not follow it, because you know you have to follow it, it's the end. So
Yes.
obviously that worked for me. So the key is to schedule on daily basis instead of weekly or monthly targets, because life is unpredictable. Obviously you
Exactly.
do not know how to.
Very well said. So you have given CLAT 25. What are our reviews for the CLAT paper this time?
This year's paper was like very unpredictable. Most of the current affairs and GK that I covered, that was not very, like, I felt that was not very useful. But then again, that was useful in ALIT. In CLAT, the paper was very, like, the level of paper was very easy. Most of the answers were in the passage itself.
Right. So which was the toughest you felt in this CLAT examination this time?
Reasoning I felt tough, not because it was tough, but because questions were wrong and I spent a lot of time in that. So
Yeah.
I'd say the paper was overall very easy. There was no section that was particularly tough.
Right.
I'd say quants was a bit tough, but then again there were some problems in the quants questions as well.
Right. So how much time do you take in completing the CLAT exam?
I'd say कि if you're not filling the OMR, if you exclude the OMR, the paper should be completed in 110 minutes, not more than that, because obviously you'll face some distractions in the CLAT center, obviously, and you have to fill your OMR and extra details as well, so that would also take time.
Right.
Maximum 110 minutes.
So what do you feel? What approach should a person be using over there? Filling OMR with the questions, or just leaving OMR at one side and first solving the entire paper and then filling the OMR?
Actually, throughout my preparation, what I used to do was I used to do 2 sections and then I used to fill the OMR. But towards the end, like 1 or 2 days prior to the exam, we were told that we cannot mark on the question paper. And even at my center, it was not clear if we're allowed to mark or not. I did not know if other students are marking or not, if the teacher will allow or not. So I
Right.
did not take the risk. I did not mark the answers in the question paper itself, so I had to fill the OMR with each question. So that took like more time than expected. But as I said, CLAT is unpredictable, so you need to practice both ways during your preparation.
So do you feel anxiety on the exam day?
Yes, obviously I was feeling overwhelmed, I was feeling anxious, but then once the paper was in my hand, I gave my 100% to it. All of my focus was on that, and any disturbance from outside, from the rest of the students, I did not focus on that, because obviously time is very crucial while giving this exam.
Right, great. So during the entire preparation, was there any time when you were shattered? Because most of the times you are not having a particular support with you, and you getting bad score also, then you are being pressurized also parents' expectation is also there. So we also have self expectations from our end. In respect of all these things, do you feel shattered sometimes, or a lot of in a situation of being distressed or depressed, that just leave it, I don't want to prepare for it anymore, let's keep it aside?
That happened mostly during the end of the preparation, because even though everything was done from my side, I felt that it's not enough and stuff. But there was, like, I know that most parents have expectations from the children, but that was opposite in my case. I had more expectations from myself than my parents had from me.
Great.
So I did not feel any burden from their side. I did not feel any burden from the teacher's side. In fact, they were supportive. Whenever I felt anxious or I felt shattered, I felt bad, I used to approach my teachers, and they helped a lot in coping up with that. And towards the end, you cannot let it consume your time, because time is very crucial towards the end. You need to revise everything. So
Yes, right.
I used to cry for a while. I used to have breakdowns, but that I used to keep a time for that, not more than 10 minutes, not more than 20 minutes, and then I used to get back to studying, and that was over for me.
So you also have to decide the time for how much time you have to be sad about it.
Because you cannot waste
Time, right, great. All right, now my next question would be how your family supported you, because as I told you, most schools are not supportive. I have seen most families are also not supportive, because when the child is studying for this competitive examination also, and the student is also studying for the schooling also, the CBSE pressure is also there. Generally parents also don't support over there. So how was the atmosphere of your family, and how were you supported by them?
My parents focused more on CBSE. They wanted me to focus more on CBSE than CLAT.
Exactly.
But once they understood that CLAT is more important for me, and that will clear CBSE anyway, I'll have to clear CBSE anyway.
Right.
And so I sat with them. I made them understand that it's very important for me, and you'll have to cooperate with that. They understood that easily, and all the pressures I faced, none of them was from their side. In fact, they helped me cope with the pressures once they understood how important is that for me. And once you make your parents understand something is important for you, they obviously support you in that.
Right. That's what I feel. A good conversation, a healthy conversation is very much important. Once you'll make them realize that this is important, this should be my priority, they'll of course support you in this. They'll understand you for that. Anyways, now how was the support of Success Mantra in this? You cracked the exam. You're going to be there in good NLU tomorrow. So did Success Mantra play any role over here?
Yes, obviously. The teachers were very helpful. Apart from the regular classes, I used to go to them for doubts, and they used to clear them. Never in my in the entire 1 or 2 year period I felt that they're not giving enough time, or they're not being supportive. Every time I went to them, it's there was there's a person for me. There are people for me who actually care about my result, and who actually care about what I'm feeling. So that was very helpful for me during the preparation.
Great. So do you feel that today, when you are here, tomorrow you are going to be in a good NLU, so all these things you will be reviving all through?
I'll miss that. I'll miss the preparation period a lot. Even now, after giving the exam, I feel some kind of void inside me that, okay, today I don't have to read newspaper, today I don't have to give a mock.
Right. Great. So apart from all this, which NLU now you are going to be in?
I'm aiming for NLU Jodhpur, but let's see when the list comes.
Okay. You're expecting which NLU to be there in the list for you?
NLU Jodhpur itself.
NLU Jodhpur itself. Okay. And you would love to go there?
Yes.
Okay. So you are already aware of what life you are going to get in NLU, because it's going to be entirely different from the school life or the life you were living here till now. It is going to be entirely different in NLU. Ready for that?
I have heard from a lot of people that life in NLUs is very hectic and very different from what you face in school. Nothing as compared to your CLAT preparation.
Right.
And I'm obviously scared about that. But then obviously there's a tint of excitement which I feel, and I'm really looking forward for that.
Any point of suggestion, any point of message which you want to deliver from your end to the CLAT aspirants? Because many students are stuck with this preparation. Many are there who couldn't clear it this time. So any message from your end which you would like to give them, just in respect to motivate them?
I would like to say again, be consistent with your preparation. Do not leave gaps in between. That is very important. And do not let your emotions come in between. Even while practicing mocks, do not let your emotions come in between after practicing mocks during the preparation. Give a specific time to that, but then obviously you need to focus more on the preparation than on your emotions.
So it was great listening to all this from you. Thank you so much, Ridhima. I feel that the viewers would also be getting a lot of information from the interview we had with you today. And entire Success Mantra family wishes you all the very best. Just have a good venture out in NLU and just make us feel proud. Go there, hit the exams, gain good marks, and reach the pinnacles of success in your life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.